Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. On November 26th, I critiqued a solo by this young man from Flanagan Rifles. Excuse me. Let's get a little bit bigger. There we go. And with the feedback, then implemented. He implemented some improvements that I recommended. Through that critique, and now these couple months later I get to critique again. I love this. This is great. I've done this before, but I've not been able to go because it's been such a great length of time. I've not been able to go back and look. So down below I'll put the original link in, or the link into the original critique that I did earlier. All right, so here we go. Let the rifle, that was powerful, very powerful toss. Let the rifle get away from you. And again, but see how, so as you're spinning, you're spinning this way. All right. So then your right leg is moving, your body is twisting this way. Instead of finishing over here, finish here. All right. So that the power, the energy for the rifle goes up, and not, I mean, even if it's just a slight movement towards the right, the rifle is going to be carried over, not very far, but however far right you go with that left hand as you're tossing, then that energy is going to take the rifle over that way. All right, so let's continue. Okay, nice. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate the movement into that into the reporting position. However, let's go back to here. This is okay. This works well. But that right there, I appreciated that the about turn to make that flanking movement. That was really good. You manipulated the rifle well, but the steps up to leading to the stop just looked kind of clunky. Didn't really come across as smooth. So there, I would right here, after you report in, you manipulate the rifle a little bit. There can be something more, and I really suggest that I know that you are gaining your experience and getting more familiar with the rifle, but I suggest implementation just a little bit. Start experimenting with body movement and footwork. So here, that stop could have been a step out to where, as you twisted the rifle around, it would have, instead of coming here, it should have come here. And with you stepping out to the left, you would have centered your body behind the rifle. It's just an added holistic view of manipulating the rifle that incorporates more than just your arms and the rifle, and that's what is going to be more communicative to your audience. What you're doing there is fine, but there can be a little more, and I suggest a little more. Just that experimentation of every time you have a nice, good rifle hit like that, the spin and the stop, maybe execute something a little more with the rifle. Now this takeoff here, your step off, works well. Rifle getting away from you again a little bit, and then again there too. All right, camera operator, we don't need to see the crowd. We need to see the solo. So, so you're kind of picking that instance where you can get into to stop the rifle there, and I understand that. You know, you're like I said, you're gaining that experience. Okay, so the OTH there, as you toss, you can see that angle of the rifle. Try to get it to where you can spin so that the rifle is horizontal. That's going to be the most impactful there. Follow him. Come on. There you go. Okay, so you dropped, and I understand that. It happens to the best of us. You make a mistake, the rifle slips out of your hand, you've got to drop. The common thing to do is to come to attention, step over to the rifle at attention, bend over, pick up the rifle, come back to attention, and then begin your routine or continue with your routine. I've even seen where someone will come to attention, step over to the rifle, salute the rifle. This is in a competition. Then pick it up, and then continue on. Don't do any of that. You don't have to come to attention. This isn't in regulation drill. If you drop the rifle, then it's expected that the commander is going to take care of the situation. In exhibition drill, that's out the window. Now, don't think of the service drill teams. All right. The Air Force Honor Guard, let's say they have a rifle drop. The commander is going to take care of that. The supernumerary is going to take care of that. The supernumerary is 1 or 2 airmen, sometimes up to 4. Army drill team has this as well, where extras, extra people who are not a part of the drill team, they will stand behind the drill team. If anything happens, they have a fresh rifle. They run out there, give that rifle, pick up the rifle that was dropped, and head off. The routine continues. That's that situation. That is the highest, most professional, not even close to scholastic. All right? It's a totally different animal. It's ceremonial exhibition drill. This is scholastic exhibition drill, and your performance is based on many, many factors, and one of the factors is flow to the performance. So, okay, you dropped your rifle. The best thing for you to do is to pick it up. That's it. Not come to attention, but pick it up. Continue on. See, you're not necessarily, well, yeah, you are. You're prolonging the drop. You're calling more attention to it by coming to attention and not continuing on. So, all right, enough on that. I really appreciate you getting in these more powerful tosses. And the left-handed spin works well for you. What do you... I need to see the soloist, not the audience. That was an interesting step forward and back, and then well done. So what I wanted to say before I got frustrated with the camera operator is that, okay, you've established that you can execute that single that left-handed front spin to the front, angled sideways. Okay, that's good. Now think of something that you can put in there, something different that you can use to let's say that the front-handed spin, you've done that 3 times. Let's say that that's filler for those sections of the routine. Pick one of those fills and remove it. Fill that space in with a different way to manipulate the rifle. Something that you can experiment with, like I was suggesting with the body work, the footwork. Think of something that will take that place, that will add to the routine. Many cadets will start off with the manual of arms as they're marching, which is just fine. You got to start somewhere. That's okay. And then as that cadet then progresses, then it doesn't look like the manual of arms that's complete, because there's a little bit of a fancy move here, a little bit of a spin there, but it's still in essence the manual of arms. Pretty soon it doesn't even look like the manual of arms because of the progression and getting more comfortable with the rifle, being able to spin it a little bit better, a little bit more accurate, etc. So as you grow, then and your routine changes, then you can take those moments and not repeat some. Many cadets do that. There's repetition throughout the performance in the early months, even the early first 2 years or so, which is just fine. But then you can replace some of that repetition with something else. And so I suggest that, excuse me, as you're getting more comfortable with the rifle, I suggest that you start then experimenting with different rifle manipulation. And the judge turns around. All right, good. Oh, you didn't perform out. So, perform out. Oh, and it was cut off. Crud. So here, perform out. Do something that because you're still on, whether it, even if the score sheet says timing ends, you're still making an impact. Even if after the report out, timing ends. Even if timing begins once you step across that line, you're still making an impact for the judge before you step over the line. So perform before you step over the line into the report in. Do all that. Remember, I was talking about the 7 parts of an exhibition drill routine. All those 7 parts have a very definite reason for being there. And this is movement away from the report out and then going across the line, and then finally to give your closing statement, pretty much. Opening statement, all the way through then to closing statement. So don't think of this as I'm finished and I go. Now, I don't exactly remember what you did with your previous routine, but I would suggest here, definitely report out until you cross the line, another powerful spin maybe if you want to, and then butt slam and you're finished. Whatever you choose there, that's fine. But definitely work your way through the whole process and perform as much as possible. You're still making that impact. All right, so thank you for the request. I really appreciate it. I hope my comments have been helpful, and I'm glad to see improvement there. That is really, really good.